This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy right. We talk ownership.
What's happening, AMG family? We are back again for another episode with the AMG Pod. My boy Larry Woods is in the house, and one of our new friends coming in hot. We met him last month, and we're going to have a great conversation. Our friend Matt Patulski. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. I love having new friends, you know?
Yeah, man. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Brother Woods, how you doing, man? I mean to skip you. My bad. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. Well rested, off of vacation, new swag. What can go wrong? What can be wrong?
Man. Matter of fact, you know what? Next time we need to get the guest a cap before so they can wear one during the pod.
Yes, absolutely.
We rock some swag. I'm on.
Yeah, man. Well, Matt, again, thank you for your time, boss. I want to dig in to who you are, all that fun stuff, man, and learn more about you. So let's jump in. So 30,000 foot view, boss. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Tell us a snapshot about your family. Who's Matt?
Yeah. So I live in Austin, Texas, and work in real estate, which obviously we can get into all of that. Amazing industry. And I've been down here for 12 years. Got a beautiful wife, Lindsay. Way outkicked my coverage with that one.
There you go.
I always tell everybody the best sale I ever made. Got that one inked up quick. And then we have 3 kids. Oldest is Reese, which she's 8, and then Logan, who's 6, and then our son Landon, who's 3. So they keep us quite busy.
Awesome.
But yeah, we love it.
Oh, you're a dad. I love it. Love the dads. That's good, man. So the Woods, go and kick in, man, and we get into some of the nitty gritty of real estate because this is juicy. I love this stuff, man.
All right. Well, I've probably been in real estate a little over 26 years, all facets. So let's start out by saying, what's a typical day look like for Matt?
26 years. Wow. Again, got to go to you for some wisdom too. So typical day for me is like varied over the years. You know, I went from when I first moved down to Austin, that's when I got into real estate. And I moved down from Buffalo, New York. So it was quite the change. Tell everybody, great change. You don't have to shovel heat. So I'll take that any day of the week. So when I first moved down, I was a real estate producer. Partnered with a guy named Tim Heil down here, and I was just full-time selling real estate.
Okay.
And my day looks a lot different now than it did then. You know, then it was really all about prospecting, lead generating, looking for customers. Anyone who's in the real estate job, it's, your job really is lead generation, and then you get to serve clients, which I learned quickly like coming in. So that was, my day was all about that. And then, from there we started building a team, and growing it and expanding it. And so, then it became recruiting agents, leading leaders, and the day became less about me producing and more about helping others and training others on how to actually produce in real estate, as well as recruiting talent, which, is the base level of being able to build a successful business. From what we learned over the years, when you have really great people, you look like an awesome leader. When you don't, then it's the other way. And, both of them are either your success or your fault based on who you do business with. But yeah. And so then we built a real estate team that we expanded into, from Austin, where we started, into Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Tampa, Atlanta, and Denver. So we did expansion there, had some success and some failures. And then in 2022, I replaced myself at our real estate team, and I moved over full-time to another company that my partner started, which I was involved with, called Homeward, and move over to run sales at Homeward as the chief revenue officer. And so, yeah, my day-to-day is, a lot similar to what it was to running a team, except, I'm not the primary decision maker. I have other peers and other people to work with. So, you're working at a company that has, a big goal to go in IPO and, really make a dent in the industry. There's a lot more cross-functional work, making sure that projects are aligned with different people inside of the team, as well as the one thing that hasn't fallen off for a role like mine is like always going out and trying to make it bring in deals, find partners. It's kind of the main priority of my goal. So anyways, Larry, your question has changed over the years. I think probably the one thing that's remained constant in, what I've done is directly going out and growing revenue and then empowering other people to be able to do the same.
That's good, man. That is good. Well, I got a ton for Matt. So you got one more, hit him, and then I'm coming in.
Hit him with one more. So we've had a lot of real estate brokers, firm owners on. They talk about how they are intentionally training their agents, right, to be good agents, learn how to prospect, learn how to go out and hunt. Do you see that trend continuing heavily across agencies, or are those one-offs?
I think that the best brokerages are the ones who empower agents to be able to do the number one thing of the job, which is go out and actually drive in new leads. And I see like brokerages doing that in various different ways. Some actually have lead generation like mechanisms themselves where they're generating leads.
Right.
And then other brokerages have really great, like I'm part of Keller Williams. They don't do that, but they have really great training, for new agents coming in, current agents on, how do you successfully go and be a high producing agent by lead generation. So I hope that doesn't change, Larry, because I think it's probably the most critical and like number one thing for, agents to actually be successful is coming in and really understanding at the base level. My job is first generating leads. My job, everything after that comes from doing that one activity. And, then, and doing that well, I get to serve clients and be able to sell houses. So, yeah.
Let's go. So, and what you're doing right now, obviously you've been all over the spectrum, right? In your whole career, and where you're landing now. Give us one thing that you're excited about, and as far as your business and what you see in the industry, even, and maybe even one thing that you wish was a little different, maybe frustrating. You're like, man, I just wish we could figure that out. You know what I mean? What's on your plate right now? You have those thoughts?
Thing I'm most excited about, I think, is the industry is evolving and changing in many different ways. It's like across many different industries. I know that's happening, but in real estate, agents are getting more and more efficient. You see, over the years, just kind of trends is that the top producers keep getting bigger. And, I think that has a lot to do with just, how much easier it is to communicate, how much easier it is to broadcast your brand, through social media and just different channels that have evolved.
Right.
Companies like Zillow, Homes.com, like all these different ones you can actually generate leads from. And so I think the thing that has been most exciting, since I've got in the industry and see it evolved is just that the people who are working and really want to grow and are willing to do the hard work and the right things have the opportunity to continue to grow their production at exponential levels. Like you just see that continue to get bigger and bigger with top producers.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about that and the things that AI can bring. And, even what we do at Homeward, with being able to, which we talk about more of, just empowering agents with unique solutions to be able to help clients solve problems and really, win business that they might have not otherwise been able to do. So there's just like a lot of, cool, innovative things that continue to grow inside of the industry. And then what am I most frustrated about? I try to live in opportunity. I don't think much about the frustrations, but I think that, probably it's not a frustration. I think it's just a misunderstanding by people on the outside is that the agent kind of sometimes looks like the enemy in this business because we get blamed for everything. If like something goes wrong with the title company or the lender, or just agents get paid too much and all these other different things. And I just, having been an agent, having a lot of really good agent friends is, the difference between sometimes just having an absolutely terrible experience or having a great experience really all relies on the type of agent you have working for you and even having an agent doing that.
Yeah.
And, you hear a lot of tech companies coming in and just different businesses that say, hey, we want to go around the agent and we want to cut them out. And I just think that that's, from what I've seen is really detrimental and probably the wrong direction for what needs to happen for, really helping consumers make the biggest move that they ever make. So, I would say that probably is my number one.
Yeah. So what kind of metrics do you focus on, like on a weekly, daily, monthly, like as far as improving the business, scaling the business? Like what's your number one focus or number one metric that you guys use?
Yeah, so I'll talk in like the real estate team and then talk at Homeward.
Yeah.
Homeward's a little bit more complicated, but
sure. Okay.
At for the real estate team, it's remained pretty consistent over the years. It's really two main metrics, which is leads and agents. It's for us as a business, for if you're a real estate team, which is different than a brokerage. A brokerage is recruiting agents and empowering the business that they already have and helping them grow that, like their sphere of influence. A real estate team is really lead generation. Let the team owner go out and get leads and then bring on agents to be able to work them, which is really the model that we run. And, so for us in that model, it's two main metrics. Are we getting enough leads to be able to hit our goals? And do we have enough agents of the right agents to be able to work those? And so those are the two top line metrics for that business that we're always constantly focusing on is like, hey, where can we go and get more leads? And, where can we go and continue to get the right agents to be able to come in and produce, as a part of our team. And then on the Homeward side, it's, honestly, like it doesn't change a whole lot. We call them referrals. So our whole business is B2B2C. So we work only with real estate agents to empower their consumers. So they will bring us clients who need help, clients who need one of the products that we offer. And then we work with that agent to be able to facilitate with their consumer. And so our top line metric is referrals. How many agent referrals have we gotten in to be able to, help us? And so, for us, we want that to exponentially grow. So that's the top line thing that, we pay attention to there. And then what channels are those coming through? Where's their opportunity for growth in those channels? And then, we buy houses. And so how many are we purchasing? And then how many are we actually, how many are we selling back at the pace that we need to? As like simple as I could break that down, those are the really the ones that we're paying attention to on a consistent basis.
Hunting. Love that. We had a conversation this morning about a lot of what you just said. So I love that. Hunting. I love this, man. This is
It's the, I don't want to over index on it, but really like it is the one thing that solves a lot of problems. If you have more business than you know what to do with, everything else becomes an afterthought. It's all operational. Like, what do I need to put in place? So if you can consistently make sure you're never letting off the gas on that, it solves a lot of problems.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I love that. That's great advice. All the realtors out there, all the people have a team. You look, hunt. You just heard Matt talk about it. This is a goal, bro. I might take some of your strategies and use it for AMG, man. Just saying.
Do it up, man.
All right, what you got?
So let's pivot. Let's take a pivot. Let's talk about future. So AI is ingrained in business more than ever today. The personal side is catching up, is actually creating a lot of entrepreneurs. So with that being said, as far as technology goes, where do you see Matt personally and or professionally in the next 6 to 12 months?
AI is, I think everyone's kind of still getting their arms wrapped around it. It's moving so fast. What it couldn't do a week ago, all of a sudden you show up and put something in and it's doing it.
Yeah.
It can, it just, the capabilities of it just seem like they just consistently continue to, like impress you in ways that you didn't think they could actually do.
Yes.
I would say, personally for me, just the things that it helps me with are, probably the main thing from just like an operator perspective or somebody who's, running a business or whatever the case may be. I don't start from scratch anymore from solving problems.
Mm-hmm. That's a soundbite right there, man.
Which was always it's always the most time consuming thing. It's like, where do I start? Now I can just dump my thoughts into Claude or ChatGPT, or take reports and put it in and be like, hey, what's the problem here? What's going on? Or, how do I need to structure this? What's the appropriate response, whatever the case may be. And at least it gives me options. Now, there's a lot of AI slop and stuff that, that you need to go back and fact check, but I can start not from a blank slate. So it just speeds up my thinking so much, and how quickly I can move on things. And so I think that's probably been like the biggest thing that's been happening as far as like a trend that I've seen, and, will continue to get better and better. Things that I used to have to hire people for to help me think through, I don't have to do anymore because I can do a lot of my own self-serve. And then, 6 to 12 months, I expect personally that's going to get better. And then in the business, people are talking a lot about AI replacing jobs, which I think inevitably is going to happen depending on like what the job is. I think that the time frame that we're talking about that in may be too condensed. Like people are like in the next 12 months, and without, unless you get specific on the job, like if it's a overseas job where all they're doing is putting in numbers to a spreadsheet, like that's very easy to automate. But the customer touch points, being able to talk to people, and just some of the relationship building and stuff like that, that is going to take a long time to be able to go away. Like for complex transactions, I don't want to talk to an AI bot. I want to talk to a human.
Correct.
And so I think like inside of our business, I see AI continuing to make each one of the team members that we have more efficient. Where we won't be laying people off, but we'll be scaling and growing without having to hire a whole lot. On the sales side, like if a producer could do 10 deals a month, all of a sudden, because hey, that intro call that you used to have, that actually an AI bot can handle that, because all it's just information gathering or just simple messaging. You don't have to take that 10 or 15 minutes to do that anymore. So now all of a sudden you're more down funnel and you can handle more high intent customers. I think like that type of stuff is really going to start to take an impact over the next 6 to 12 months. And I think is going to be able to cause a lot of people not to have to bring on a lot of additional staff, but just be able to make the people that are there more productive.
Scaling the business without a tremendous amount of hiring. I love that. Totally get that.
Yeah, without adding bodies.
And I think like there's like different places where that's possible. We have a field BD team that we're scaling, which is the people go out, they meet with real estate agents, real estate teams face to face, learn about their business, figure out how we can take what we offer and help them use it to grow their business. And that's like a role that I don't know how AI is going to replace, so I just think, I think for those type of roles, you can find out how to make them more efficient. But I do think that there's just a huge opportunity if you're someone who's willing to talk to people and, build those relationships. That's going to be very difficult for, I'm sitting
here thinking about our business, Woods. Like, you can't replace us. Like that would, I see what you're saying, Matt. You know what I mean? Like administrative things, stuff like you're talking about, the introductory calls, all that. Yes. Spreadsheets, analysis, things like that. But the relational piece, that will be very hard. Maybe it could, but I'm gonna tell you, it would be hard for me to give up, Matt. I ain't gonna lie.
I know. I'm the same way. Somebody try to marry an AI bot, so like, who knows, who knows? But I like to think the same way. Within like a time horizon, it's like hard to replace those things for sure.
Of course. All right, Wood, you got something, man?
No, go ahead.
All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry, trying not to die on camera, Matt. This cough I got going on. Yeah, you ever had a whole house sick?
You need it.
Yeah, you're good, man. We're fine. So we got a whole house full of sick kids, man. So, I don't know if you've been there before with your family, but it stinks.
Yeah.
All right. So pivoting a little bit, I do want to get into, for me, I'm constantly thinking about things I can fix. What can I solve? What can I fix? What's going on? What needs to be fixed? Is there anything? For me, I feel like if I don't have anything to work on, I'm missing something. As a leader, I solve problems. Or I'm forecasting to say, okay, that might be a pothole. Let me get on top of that. Right.
Yeah.
You in your role, how do you see that? Like, is that what you do? Is there anything that's top of mind right now where you're like, you know what? I see something, in my role all the time, or, is there anything where you're looking at solving problems on a consistent basis? Do you have that on the front of your mind, or is that more of a reactive thing for you?
I think that as like a leader, problem solving is your number one role. If all you're doing is just corporate managing, showing up and having a conversation with somebody, and like just business as usual type stuff, you're not really adding a lot of value. Like you get paid for solving problems, And so I think that for me, the problem solving portion comes into either, looking at KPIs, looking at numbers, seeing places where, hey, why is conversion dipping in this particular channel when we were, higher a month ago? Like what's happening there? Information gathering, asking questions. And sometimes like things are running really well and there's not a lot to dig into there. And then it becomes the question, which is like sometimes tough for a leader. It's like, what do I do? Because as a leader, as a business owner, it's like, hey, if everything's going well, do I just take a vacation, which may be the right answer, or do I go and push to do more, Right. And so, for me, I think about like, I want to empower my team as much as possible to be able to handle their own problems. But sometimes, as a leader, you got to step in and hit them with questions, make sure things are driving forward. But that's what you hire them to do is you want them to do their job and that should be part of their job. But then on the other side is you should always have a set of problems that you're specifically owning and working on to go and take things to the next level. And it's kind of the trade-offs. And I try to be as clear about what those things are and that I'm owning and driving. And then what are the problems my team needs to solve and them own and drive. And, obviously stepping in if I need to, but.
So with all that, sorry to cut you off, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But you're really digging into something, man. So as a leader, yes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but agents, they're, mini business owners, right?
Yep. Mini CEOs. So wouldn't you say that that mindset applies to them too? They're not exempt from what you just said, or am I wrong? No, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So speak to that person right now. I'm watching this podcast. I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And I see this guy who's a boss. Oh, of course, Matt's going to solve problems and take responsibility. He's the boss. He's supposed to. I'm just an agent. What would you say to me if I had that mindset?
Well, you call me a boss and I feel like a janitor, cleaning up problems.
See?
part of the role.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say the agents if you have goals and you are trying to grow, you have to constantly be doing things that you weren't doing before. Otherwise, you're going to stay in a stagnant position. And usually the way to go and grow is you have to solve new problems that you haven't solved before, which is like, hey, I've been doing transaction management for all of my deals. Like, is that right for me to be doing? Well, maybe that's a problem to solve. Maybe I need to solve the problem of bringing somebody on to leverage me there. Otherwise, you're trading your time to go and do that task versus paying somebody to do it and getting that time back to go do other things.
Correct.
And, it's tough because when you're a solo agent, or you're working on building a team, a lot falls on the owner. You have usually less leverage. We use the term battle and build. It's in every role, there's the battle and the build. It's the battle of the day-to-day to keep the wheels on and make sure that things are moving forward, and the build of what you want to create in the future. And I think that too many people just sit in the battle and just let that move forward, and they don't spend time on the build, which ultimately is the things that like help you get out, grow the business, and get you out of the problems that you're currently in today. Yeah. So, if you're the mini CEO of your business, and you got goals that you want to pursue and go and grow, you got to be battle and building always. It's not easy too, because it is a balance. It's hard. And sometimes it's more counterweight to one or the other, but you have to always constantly be doing both.
Yeah, I think that's a misconception for a lot of self-employed individuals, whether it be, real estate sector, financial sector, and others, right? Where there's just battle. And they think that by winning battles, you by default are building.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it just means you want to battle. That's all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
you're going to stay like this or go down,
Exactly. And I've seen that over the years, man, in our industry and others, where it's like, man, I just can't grow. It's like, no, your pocket's growing, but your organization's not.
Yeah.
Two different things, that's great wisdom, man.
Yeah. And I think off of that too, just kind of like brings up for me, for a lot of agents, and everyone's going to be at their different, places you know, it may just be you need to go lead generate more if you're newer. But if you have an established, you know, if you have an established business and you're looking to hire, there was a quote from Gary Keller that's always stuck with me is if you're doing everything that you can and you're feeling stuck, you're missing a relationship. And that one is like, you know, has always been like a guiding light for me, because the relationship could be the transaction manager. It could be, I need to go hire a director of sales. I could hire somebody in ops. It could just be the relationship I'm missing as a mentor who's done this before that I need to sit down with and start gathering, you know, hey, what have you done? What you
there
know,
you go. There you go.
And those usually relationships are what usually break you through to the next level. You know, and so I would also just say that as advice too, is like, what's always been a guiding light for me is like, go find the right people, bring them in, and whether in your business or help you work on your business, usually are the things that help reinvigorate you and get you to the next level.
Oh, so good, man. Man, how old are you, man?
Dude, I'm 37. I got some gray hairs though.
I'm about to say you got something somewhere, bro.
Young Yoda.
Yeah,
young Yoda. That's it, man. Oh my God.
Well, you know, you get kicked in the mouth enough, you start to learn. You know, that's the
so true, man. So true. What's it you got?
So spending my seasons that I spent as a real estate agent, what would you say to young agents about protecting what they build? Right. We can't all be, yes, being a real estate agent is what I like to say is if you're not all in, you're not in at all, because it's going to eat you up.
Yeah.
Right. So for those that want that longevity in the business, what do you say to the young agent about how to protect it, how to retire at some point?
Yeah, I think that I agree with you on being all in. You know, I think the things that have really, when I look back on you know, the career that I've been lucky to have so far is the thing that has allowed me to do some of the things that I've done has been the fact I've had no plan B. And I know that sounds like, you know, we've heard that before, but when you have no other option, your chances of getting the thing done that you want to go up a lot, because you become a lot more creative. You know, you find gas that you didn't know you had. You know, it's not very good for your mental health always, but it's great for your motivation, you know, to go out and do those things. And so I think that, you know, so anyways, Larry, I agree with you on that. Just like you have, no matter what you're doing, you have to be all in on it, and eliminate like the other options that you have. And then, you know, for like the agents, for retiring, doing those different things, you know, it's tough because a lot of times you can't really build a real estate business unless you build it big. Like if you're going to stay with just you and like a transaction manager, maybe one agent, it's not really as much of like a sellable asset, because the database is relying, like calls you as the person to come and help them. And it's hard to hand off that relationship to somebody else. And you know, there's different models there. Like you can hand it off and get referrals for like a little limited period of time, but it's not something you can really package and sell. So if that's something that's meaningful for you, like small will not get you a payday. As far as like, if you're trying to make a big exit, you got to go big. You have to build a sustainable business that does not rely on you, and that's built off of systems. If you do that, you know, you have a lot better chance of finding somebody who will want to acquire it or merge it with another real estate team or whatever the case may be. But if you're just a solo agent, you like selling houses, I always say, like, invest in what you know, and you know, real estate, and investing in real estate is a great vehicle to be able to create wealth. I know a lot of really smart agents who mentored me. We own some rental properties, and you know, for every like dollar I made, I put it aside and said, I'm going to go take this and go buy a rental property, you know, save up for that. And after you do that over the course of many years, now all of a sudden your retirement plan is there and starting to get paid for. And now you're starting to accumulate wealth. And then you have the optionality of like, hey, I'm going to stop selling houses at some point, or only do it like on the side. And, you know, so it really is like, you either got to go big, or you have to take them, like, set aside money that you are currently making, don't spend it all, and go and put that and invest it. You know, would be, I think are probably like two routes that I've seen that have worked for a lot of, you know, the friends that I've seen, you know, be successful in this industry.
So the overall point I hear, man, is being intentional. about your funds and your commissions, your money that you're making. We've interviewed some other individuals that real estate offices, whatever, and the like. And you remember this conversation? It was a gentleman who was saying that they had a problem with agents making a ton of money and literally had zero tax plan, zero investment plan, retirement plan, and he was literally at that time frame on a mission to fix that. He's like, we're tired of seeing people just blow through cash. You're going out buying exotic cars, and you don't have anything else in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it is in real estate, but what would you say is more responsible people in real estate, would you say, when it comes to making a living and saving? And because I know in our sector it gets pretty wild, bro. Like it gets pretty wild.
Yeah.
But in your side, what's kind of the common thing you see, the temperature of being smart with your funds?
I think a lot of it just has to come down to education on money. I mean, just a lot of the stuff they just don't teach you. I think a lot of the agents, as a simple one, some agents get in the industry and don't know that they don't get to keep all the money that they get paid in commission, that they have to set aside 30% of it, 35% of it to go pay taxes. I've seen a lot of agents just fall trap of like, oh my gosh, I got a tax bill from the prior year. How do I pay that? I didn't know I had to pay that. And it sounds like, how did you not know that? But right. I think that education piece is just something that probably is not recognized enough and taught enough for people to be able to like understand. And it doesn't come natural either. It's, it's something you really got to dive into. And like, for me, the financial side, like I didn't come from a finance background. So it wasn't something that like, I was really excited to open up a 400-page book and read about, the different, all the different things that are like involved with that. But I think one of the best education tools is again, like mentorship. Like I had a guy who sat down with me and just like walked me through some models of how you think about money. And it wasn't a book. It was, it was a one-on-one conversation and then a class. And all of a sudden, since I got the education, I got to make better decisions about what I would do, how I would spend my time, where my money would go. And, so I would just, if like money doesn't come, like, first of all, if you think money comes natural to you, I would go and like test that just to make sure. I made assumptions about what I know, and then I came back and said, "Wow, that was a bad decision." I think it's like always good before making a money decision to go seek mentorship, regardless. But if it's something that like you want to know more about, you don't have an understanding, go find a relationship that really is somebody who excels at that you can sit down with and have some conversations and get more fluent on it.
So at one particular point, we were over like 73 agents and advisors working with us. And one of the things that's always been on my mind, Matt, is helping the agents understand financial stewardship. When you're in an industry like real estate and like what we're in, you're an opportunity that it's hard, right? We know it's challenging. You got to be intentional. And I don't mean impossible, obviously, but it's not for the faint of heart, right? It's not, you got to have some grit and some grind, right? Commitment and resiliency. You have to have all that. Now the financial stewardship piece is just as intentional as getting a lead and grinding after that and getting that new client. You have to be just as intentional about getting the financial acumen to be able to handle the fish that you're catching.
Yeah.
Right. Because we've, unfortunately, in my early days of leadership in our business, it was, awesome, great job, right? And I'm like, then like months later, I'm like, oh no, you did what? How do you have a couple $100 left? And I know you just made 35K. For real. That's a real example, Matt.
Yeah, no, I know, I've heard them. That makes me think of something that I found originally to be like a core problem for me. And there's someone had told me this, and it was like an aha moment for me, is that and not to get biblical, this is just an example, but
get biblical. Let's go.
The root word for discipline in the Bible is vision. And so when you have a clear vision, it's easier to stay disciplined because you got, it's like, this is the path I need to head. Like, I know what my goals are. I know where I'm heading. They're very clear to me. And so the discipline becomes easier because it's like, well, if I make this decision, I know it's going to veer me off and I really want to go this way. So it makes it very easier to say, no, I'm not going to buy that car because, well, I'm putting money into that I could be investing, and I think that, from agents that I've seen, it's like, I want to make money, but why? I want to make money, but what are my goals? What am I going to do with it? And, you rely on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and it's all about Lamborghinis and Ferraris and big houses and stuff,
Oh
and,
my gosh, man.
Setting the wrong example. If that's your vision, then unless you make a ton of it, you could find yourself like making $35,000 and only having $1,000 left or whatever your example is.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I do think the vision piece is really important to help instill that discipline, financially, and of course, like in other things too.
Yeah. And not to really harp on this, just one last piece is I think, at least from my experience, there are people who've gotten into our industry similar to real estate where they're an opportunity. We've never had the option or opportunity to make the kind of income, that they can make with you in real estate or here, whatever, right? Yep. They come from maybe a W-2 making this a steady 60 a year or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And when you get into an opportunity like what we do and what you do, you're elevating the trajectory of your future if you commit and go all in, right? You're elevating the opportunity, right? You're going from like, T-ball to NBA, to MLB opportunity wise. There's a mindset shift that has to happen between grade school ball to MLB.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I notice a lot of people, they want the MLB result without growing and stretching the mindset to be able to play at that level. And so it's really interesting, man. Like I'm harping on that because that's a sad thing. We've heard at least not just that one gentleman I mentioned, but about at least 3 or 4 in the last month.
More than we want to hear, for sure.
Where that's an issue because it's like all the great stuff. They're like when we asked one guy like, "What's the one thing you want to fix or improve?" He went straight to it, Matt. Like it was like financial stewardship.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
Financial stewardship was number one, man. Yeah. What would you say? Not outside of this stuff, just in general, business wise. What drives you, man? Like the energy you put off, the wisdom you have. Obviously, you said you've been kicked in the mouth a few times in business life, whatever it is. Like, what keeps you like grinding, bro? Like focused and getting after it the way you do? Because anybody's listening to the last few minutes, they're like, okay, this guy's not playing around.
Yeah, I think at one point money was really driving me. And I think there was like a financial early on in my career that was really like, hey, I'm trying to go and make, trying to go and make it big. And I think that is a small tank of gas that runs out, in a shorter period of time.
Yes.
From like, I finally got to where I thought I wanted to be, and I looked up and I went like, is this all that there is, and so kind of like past that period, the things that I've always looked back on that have given me the most amount of energy is helping people, making an impact. Like those things are worth more than like any dollars you can put in my bank account. Like seeing an agent who I, mentored or worked with that ended up being successful and like achieving their dreams, buying a house, whatever the case may be. Like that's the juice. The core, like, so the core motivation that I've that keeps me going is one, I want to make an impact. I think that whether that's with like helping people or really going out and helping to improve this industry, I think I've been in it for, as long as you, Larry, like 12 years, not 26. And I, hopefully I get to 26 because I love this industry. The impact piece of, I really want to make the lives better for people who are buying and selling houses in the industry and empowering agents, like seeing agents win, and doing something big and doing something that, is like meaningful. And I think that, that vision for me with the specific goals that I've set along it is really the thing that like keeps driving me. And, you know, I think that inside of that, it's not easy every single day. There's probably like, you know, three days a week I wake up and go, oh man, all right, got to get myself amped up for this, you know. It can be a grind, but the goals keep me focused. The relationships keep me really invigorated. You know, and I think that's probably like the, you know, the core of the motivation for me is you know, like really those things. But it doesn't take the heart out of it. I think that's like the thing that people probably miss a lot is that hard is hard. Building something meaningful is difficult. And that's why most people don't do it. You know, and, you know, and so I've been lucky to have people around me that I've seen struggle and succeed. They've normalized it for me. Like, oh, it's hard. Is it, you know, is it really difficult? Well, that means like you're making progress, like you're getting closer, like you're just, you know, you're getting closer to the breakthrough. And that's always been true for me is like, you know, any goal that you go achieve, it's not just going to come to you automatically. Success starts with suck. As like one of my friends usually says, you know, that's the beginning phases of it. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be difficult. And so embracing the challenges, focusing on like what you value, impact, you know, keeping those goals clear. Those are really the things that keep me rolling, keep me excited, you know?
Man, let me tell you something, Woods.
I know.
We got to go to Austin, man. We got to go hug this guy.
Hey, he's only an hour for me. I can get there before you.
Hey, man. I love hugs. We love to meet you guys in person.
Man, dude, let me tell you, man, I love this. I do have one final question. But I do want to tee it up with this, man. I've heard several words, but I've been writing quite a few things that you said. And it shows your heart, man, as a man first, godly man first, as probably, you know, definitely a husband, father, and then a businessman, right? Mentorship. You said it several times that you received wisdom from mentors. You sought after it. They just didn't come knock on Matt's door saying, hey, you looking for a mentor? I'm open. Like, no, you went and found the guy, right? I love the fact hard is hard, and that is okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I love the fact that you educate people. You educate your agents. You educate anyone. You help anyone. You're educating us right now. I'm learning stuff. I told you I'm jacking a few of your things already, man. So get ready. You love to help people and empower people. One of my favorite things, man, that you said was, you know what? No, you call me the boss, man. I'm just the janitor. And it tells me a lot about your heart and your spirit, man. You're a servant leader in all you do, not just work, probably. You know, and that's a phenomenal trait as a leader. So if you're watching this and you're like, you know, oh, this is cool. No, hit on laugh first. He's a servant leader. This dude understands it, which is why all this other stuff makes sense. I love it. And then my favorite one, he said, you know, I'm not trying to get spiritual, bring a but the core meaning of, I'm like, dude, you better bring the Bible in. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody scared here. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, and so that to me, I don't know, Woods, you can speak on it, whatever you want, man, but I just love that, Matt. I love meeting you more today than what we did last, 43 minutes ago, man. You're a good dude, man.
Thanks,
you got it going on, man. Yeah, for sure. Woods, what about you, man?
I second that. Very refreshing. We just thank you for being here, Matt, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We have learned, we have taken some nuggets, and please don't get offended if we use them.
We'll tell you first, though. We'll give you props.
Yeah, we'll give you a heads up.
Yeah. They ain't copyrighted. I got them from somebody else, so you do whatever you want to. All knowledge is gifted. As they say.
Well, brother, servant leader, I want you to get us out of here in the sense of offering a piece of advice to someone who is an agent or in business, the industry and just in general. What piece of advice would you give someone who's saying, you know what, I think I can do this. I don't know, Matt, what would you say to me?
I probably would say that for people who have asked me that before is if you think you can do it, then you probably should. But before you do, go find somebody who's done it before and go talk to them. And that's either going to make you concrete, excited, invigorated about it, or is going to tell you that, hey, maybe this isn't for me. But that what I've usually found is going and actually hearing about what I think I'm going to do from somebody who's done it well before has usually caused me to take action that I wouldn't have taken otherwise faster to go and do the things that I need to do. So I don't know, man, everything, this is like a reminder for me, just even this conversation, everything in life is really about relationships. I think that's probably like one thing I want to create more in my life is just being around really good people, who lift me up and, that I can learn from. And, the old quote of the 5 people you spend the most time with, or how you end up turning out, or Denzel Washington's quote of you hang around the barbershop long enough, eventually you'll get a haircut. Like, go around people who are successful. So that's probably what I would tell that person. Go hang around a barbershop where there's other successful people doing what you want to do. You'll probably learn things.
Yeah, man. Hey, Matt been lying to us. He got more gray hair than we can see right now. This is the old Yoda. My God. Hey, man, we thank you again for your time, boss. Such a pleasure with this conversation, getting to know you even more. Man, Larry and I are definitely thankful for you, brother. So, hey, if you guys are watching this, definitely be on the lookout for Matt, his company. Where can they find you real quick, man? Where the business? Is it Facebook, website, whatever you guys have? Let everybody know.
Yeah, homeward.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well. Feel free to look me up. Would love to connect with whoever we want to meet.
All right. With that said, Mondo, Matt, and Larry Woods on the AMG Pod. We will see you guys next time. Later.
This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy write. We talk ownership.